Well, the U.S. national debt is now on the verge of a shocking milestone. It is currently just under $16 trillion. Look at that. Expected to pass that mark tomorrow. Day, of course, that the DNC kicks off their big convention here in Charlotte. Last week, Republicans made a huge focus of that debt clock. There it is, looming over the convention center in Tampa. One of the clocks they had there showed more than $8.5 billion that was added to the debt just in the days that the delegates were meeting in Tampa. And that was the other one that showed the total amount there. Joining us now is Stephen Moore, senior economics writer for the Wall Street Journal. Steve, good morning. Happy Labor Day. Good to have you with us today.
Hi, good morning, Martha. By the way, can you think of worse timing for the president right before he's about to give his big speech that the debt clock topples over $16 trillion? I mean, the Republicans couldn't have scripted that much better.
It's an unbelievable number. And you point out some really shocking realities about this in terms of, that in less than 8 years, the interest on the debt will reach $1 trillion in interest alone. It's a number that's tough to get your arms around.
It is. By the way, one of the problems with talking about the national debt, and one of the reasons a lot of viewers probably their eyes glaze over when we talk about trillions of dollars, there's a saying in Washington that a trillion is the new billion. And it really is true. And the numbers are so big, Martha, I think most people, they've become almost anesthetized to them. They're so large. I mean, just to put that in perspective, $1 trillion is $1 million. Or another way to think about it, I did some calculations this morning. Just this 4 or 5 minute segment we're going to do on the debt, just in this 4 or 5 minutes, the U.S. government will borrow another $5 to $10 million. So we're on a debt collision course. And the key point is the one that you just made, Martha, is the real cost of this is the interest payments. And somewhere around 2019, 2020, which isn't so far off, $1 trillion a year of our budget will go just to pay the interest, which means we're not getting anything for it, right? That's more than we're going to spend on Medicare, on Social Security, on Medicaid, even national defense will go to pay for the interest payments. And by the way, that's assuming the interest rates stay as low as they are right now, which may not happen.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back over that point one more time, because I think it's stunning.
Right.
The interest that we'll be paying on the national debt will be bigger than our budget to defend our country.
That's right. That's incredible. And by the way, the interest payments are very soon going to be consuming almost every dollar that we pay in income taxes, which means there will be no money left over to pay for, national defense or Medicare or all of these other programs that are so important. I call the debt like termites in the basement. They're just slowly eroding the foundation of our fiscal health in this country, and it's a very troubling thing. By the way, when I came to Washington, Martha, in the early 1980s under Ronald Reagan, the debt was about $2 to $3 trillion, and now we're at $16 trillion in just 25, 26 years. Amazing. And both parties are responsible for this. Let me get that out there. I mean, the Republicans and the Democrats created this mess, and the problem is nobody sees any relief in sight.
And I wonder how much we'll hear about it over the course of the next few days here in Charlotte.
I don't think the Democrats are going to talk a lot about it, but I think, we'll see. I was there in Tampa last week. The big showcase item in that Republican convention, of course, was the debt clock. I don't think the Democrats will want to talk about it. The Democrats simply say, look, Bush was the one who got us in this crisis in the first place. We'll see.
All right. Steve, thank you so much.
Great to be with you.
Enjoy the rest of the Labor Day weekend. We'll see you when we get back to New York.